Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate very much your coming and looking this today. This is Asian, but you could call especially Indian curry. I'm sure you know the Indian curry, but Indian curry is just not a one type. There are almost at least 20 to 25 types the way you can make the Indian curry. So this is one we use mainly in the eastern part of India, which is called the West Bengal and Bangladesh, because they get this kind of shrimp because of the Bay of Bengal, which is very close to, and they catch there. That's all. We also have this kind of shrimp in lake water. That means not salt water, fresh water, and that tastes differently. So people catch those, and the shrimp has a, although it is a scavenger, they call it scavenger of the sea, but the shrimp, when they eat those, all the other bacteria waste, it is a God's creation system. They digest that, it comes a fantastic, entirely different. Right now, PBS is broadcasting one special. A lot of the volcanic area in the under the earth, there are volcanic eruption going on, and the shrimp, they can clean that area, and they are getting nutrient. In these shrimps have your basic nutrient we use in the body: nitrogen, phosphorus. See, actually our human body is only made with 7 minerals and thing. It combines them. We need a hydrogen, oxygen, carbon, and nitrogen, which is the nitrate you can buy in the fertilizer, and phosphorus, and iron, and a little bit of copper. See, our human body actually nothing but a chemical. This took evolution to build our human body. That's the reason we came back from when the earth first created, 10 billion years ago, and after that the actually earth settled down and created 4.5 billion years ago. Then the first time in the earth's life only was virus. That is the only bacteria and virus was first living being in the earth. Now we, after generation, all the animals, all the mammals, all the fish, all the birds, animals, all, then we are called the most advanced intelligence being. See, as a universal picture, that's we are called. We are advanced being, because we have a mind, we know things to do, we can discover, and this is the actual end, but it might develop more if the human species live another 100, 200 years. We don't know that. Just think about, we cannot imagine 50 years ago that we can go to space, we can land in the moon and do a lot of stuff. It was unthinkable. So now today we are doing that. So this is this particular cooking developed there. It can be various ways, and in this cooking all I did, we took a wild caught shrimp, not the farm raised shrimp, because the farm raised shrimp does not have a nutrient the regular shrimp has wild caught, just like the between salmon wild caught and salmon fresh from the farm raised. This is another problem, because the world food supply and the fish supply. Are you following me? I'm fasting enough, or I can slow down? Any questions? Then I'll answer your questions.
If you can.
You just tell me. I'm trying to speak loud.
Or
So,
speak louder.
yeah, so anything it is a, but we have here, let me tell you, I have added only 5 spices. I told you that there are cooking you could do, Indian cooking, different from 5 to 25 different spices. You can add and make a mixture of that while cooking. It is not one you put everything together and cook, like the way you fix the lasagna or spaghetti or other Mexican dishes. So this is the reason the Indian families and Indian housewives spend a lot of time cooking, because the main key is the taste. And this is the way I cooked it. See how you feel taste. You could cook it hot, medium, no hot. Okay, So here I have used the wild caught large shrimp, and this shrimp already deveined and it is with the shell. So all you have to take the shell out by the hand and the shell of the shrimp and just eat the meat. You can see that. And but you have to cook this shrimp to get this smell and the spices. You have to cook with the shell, without the head. Now you know that in India, in Brazil, South America, some countries, Mexico, they cook the shrimps same way with the head. That is even more tasty. And people don't believe it. So when first time I went to in '64, I went to Mexico to travel, and as soon as I landed in Mexico City, I told, do we have head shrimp that I can restaurant? Well, oh yeah. And he told me 3 blocks down there is a restaurant that cooks shrimp with the head, because the Americans don't eat the headed shrimp, let's put it this way, okay? So that's the way, and I was surprised, you know, they cooked that, and he told me, you're from India, is that right? Well, yes. Well, we know that, because the Indian population in Mexico, plus when they cook it. So here I have that basically, and then you can eat that. When you eat that, you will see I did not make it hot, because I know probably you don't. And so, and I did not have any sugar here. So, Barbara, excuse me, you got the butter at the end, okay. So that's the main ingredient, and then I cook that in a canola oil, fry that slowly, and before that I brush this shrimp with the turmeric powder. See, the turmeric does any fish, if any kind of contamination or bacteria thing develops, that will kill that turmeric. If by keeping in the store, sometimes that is, and shrimp is a very, very volatile, gets immediately spoiled if you don't take care, cook right away. You cannot preserve that in a refrigerator a long time, because it develops, you know, spoil quickly than other fish. So this is the way I braise that with the turmeric, and then I fried that in a canola oil, and the type of oil you use that to make a soup, not that you too much oil, you have to measure that, and you can see that when you come back and see the color. I want you to see that before you really eat, and yeah. No, put the little water. Yeah, here, little water. So you can see that, and that soup we use put in a rice, or you can use the naan, or you can use bread, or what you can also call the bun or biscuit, anything. And also you can eat the roti or chapati, Food City sells. All of these materials actually is a very good thing that Food City sells all these things. I think that they also cater to the Asian population, so they sell all these items. So then I fried that in a oil. You don't have to fry too much, but you need a bigger pot. We had a little problem. I cooked a lot, and we had a still small pot. Actually, this kind of thing, I need a big wok. See, this size wok. So then we fry that, low frying heat, you adjust the heat, and then after frying, we added more turmeric, because the turmeric has to go each piece of the shrimp, and all the within the shell of the shrimp, in the mid part, because that brings the taste. When you take the shell out, the mid part absorbs the taste. Then I added a cayenne pepper. Now that's only the little hot cayenne pepper. These are all powder. The cayenne one you add as you want hot. So, and even if you cook and add a little more cayenne pepper hot, all you have to do, you add a couple of spoons brown sugar. So that neutralizes the hotness. So then that's you do, and then after that, then I added 3 spices. It is called garam masala. Food City sells that, and these are very important actually mineral. You know, the cardamom, cinnamon, and cloves. Now these are all actually medicinal or herb type of medicine. You know, cinnamon, you know, today the doctors tell every diabetic patient should use cinnamon. That's the reason we have cinnamon bread, cinnamon this, cinnamon cake. They're using a lot. That's the anti-diabetic. The cloves and cardamom combined together, they're actually anti the allergic, takes care of the allergy. Those two combination also makes like your coughing and cold preventive, general cold preventive. So remember, before these things are not developed today, centuries ago Indian cooking developed. That time we did not have all this type of medicines today we are using. They all has to depend on the herb to prevent the disease. So that's the date, because these are natural, they discovered that, and that's the way. Now it is a widely used today in India. If you go to the health food store right there in Smithman Drive, they are selling the cayenne tablet, $60 a bottle. And this one only costs $3 or $4. People don't know how to use that, so the Americans love pills. I also love pills. Huh? Yeah, turn it off. So that's the difference. But because I learned from the very basic this cooking, and also I'm an Indian yoga master, every yoga practitioner has to learn about the herb-based cooking, because that's the key to health, prevention of disease. So the modern treatment today, as you know, is changing. In America, most doctors, you know, all the people in CNN, Sanjay Gupta and Dr. Oz, they're all talking in the television to use the spices, because those are minerals and everything prevents something. Now let me tell you, if I get a suddenly cold, I travel, I just come home, don't go to pill or anything, and I make with the same curry, other curry, a large soup, just like you eat chicken broth and other soup. I just come back and take the soup and drink it with a little bread or rice. That's it. That subsidizes my immunity, increases my immunity level. See, these are anti-immune actually drugs, earth. These are grown in a natural earth. It is not something that you are manufacturing. It is a natural. So that's the reason you have all the spices you have to add. Now there are 25 other varieties. You can make a simple potato, even fried potato. Now I have added here one thing, bay leaf. Do you have that, bay leaf?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a bay leaf. I added bay leaf.
Oh, here it is. I'm sorry.
Like you do the French fries, I do that in home, just fries the oil and dip it, and bay leaf. See, bay leaf is, do you know that bay leaf, people don't know. When you have a cockroach in your house, in the cabinet, people don't know that. It's another secret I'm telling you. You buy all these materials, if you leave a bay leaf has a hidden anti-smell, that roach will not come to that shelf. So if you have something like a special thing to preserve in your cabinets, make sure that you put some bay leaf. Only one or two all you need. Just like they use different tablets to do roach tablets and this and that. So this is the same thing. So then I added those 3 other spices, which makes the called garam masala, and it is written in that bottle, and that has clove, ground cinnamon, and ground cardamom. Those are actually antibacterial. It prevents a lot of things, and that's the way it was used in India. Even the poor people in India today who cannot go to the like a medical system, doctors, the way we did, see, they depend on those kind of steak. And they also has a different type of branch they treat patient those. This is called Ayurvedic treatment. I'm sure you already heard that. Ayurvedic, they are using also in this country now. And the homeopathic and Kabiraji, they use only herbs and these materials. So that's the reason it was developed by centuries. They discovered these herbs and this is the way they cooked it, instead of the regular other stuff they used. And you can make, now you can come here, look at the sauce, if you want to, when you come here, and then you bowl, pick up the sauce and pick up the same thing you want and mix with the, you have to use your hand, so make sure that you clean up, because you have to take the skin, the peel off the little skin. And that skin and the little of their the legs, which they kind of use for guiding them swimming, that is, you simply suck them or a little bit chew it, you'll get another taste besides the meat. So that's actually the basic way. It's a very simple cooking, but very hygienic and very antibacterial. Now, any questions you have, then you can start.
Chop that up when you put it in the stuff. Do you chop the leaves or leave them whole? Leave them whole.
Make them whole. No, you don't chop it, just a small.
Leave them whole.
Now, bay leaf comes also this size, then just break that.
I use them all the time.
Any questions, feel free. Very simple cooking, very tasty. Once you test it, then you tell me whether I get A, B, or C, or D. So I was a professor for many years, so I know what the grades mean. Because I had to go through that. I have a PhD, so.
Did you say you used a bay leaf in the oil when you make French fries on it?
Yeah, just fry that. Not over fry, deep. Just don't. You cannot do the deep fry because it will burn the bay leaf. But in a saute type of frying, just a little bit. If you do saute and put the bay leaf.
Like stir fry.
Stir fry. You can cook that with anything.
Well, I started saying, I couldn't figure out French fries with the baby leaf.
Well, they don't do that. See, remember, I have taught this, and I taught yoga cooking, and a lot of Americans, up young men to the older senior citizens, they might learn that, and they could not believe. We say, how this thing, we've never heard that. But that's the whole truth. See, we don't know what the whole cultures and whole other countries are doing, whole civilization. We're only talking today.
You've been around a long time.
So that's the reason when I travel to India, and that's I do, because I eat here American, Mexican, other food. The first thing I do, I have a laundry list. I tell them these are the things I grew up, I need that. So my family members, now my father and mother did. My mother immediately said, as soon as I went there, I know. And he actually groomed me and actually brainwashed me with a lot of this spicy food. I was lucky, of course, because when I came to this country, I had to go through some of these bacteria special disease which America has, just like the other countries have. So every country has, and particularly, and you will not believe it, I never took any kind of, Pepsi Bismol, this and that, all this acid and thing. I can also cooking. I can develop, if I develop an acid, I have a thing I can cook that, and it reduces the acid instead of your acid pill which you buy in a store, 10 gram or 20 milligram acid pill. So this is the basically simple cooking. Now we have what we call Maharaja style. You know, the word Maharaja means something like a millionaires and billionaires in India. That's the British created also when under British rule. Just like here we have a upper class 1%, 2%, what we are talking today in America. It's the same, those people, they are. Let me give you some of the outstanding examples how the Indian. In Buckingham Palace, because the British was associated with the ruled India 200 years, you will find every type of spice cooking in there. They have an Indian chef there. A lot of the foreign countries, you know that Yugoslavia President Tito, he used to come visit India, and as soon as he entered India, he told the embassy that I need a all Indian cooking, all Indian food there. A lot of the people, Brezhnev used to come to India because of the, now they all have a hired people there. Same thing with the Indian tea. Also, you know, India produces the best tea. 1 pound of tea costs $60. So it is not like this Lipton thing you buy. It is only straight leaf, no the caffeine, you only boil, and it's only the smell and fragrant. And the British discovered that, and when British went to, they really put this tea plantation all over the Himalayan foothills. And today that is one of the best products India ships overseas. Unfortunately, even from the middle class, a little rich, they cannot afford that tea. Just think about it. India ships all those good things to get their foreign exchange money for the best thing. Before it was plenty. So that is the way it is. So this simple cooking, so I'll answer any question, but I think you need to test because it will be cold, okay? So let us have.
Also, when we finish, maybe you could mention some of the other menus that we could offer. I can help you with that.
Which one? The cooking?
We can mention some other menus that you could offer. if
Oh
you're
yeah.
interested.
Well, shrimp I can cook with the 3-4 different ways. I can cook little shrimp with this onion and potato.
Also the dal.
Yeah. So there are various types of lentils or dals, and I cook excellent cook. I'm lamb curry, chicken curry,
Goat curry.
goat curry.
Oh, it's so good.
See, goat is a non-fat meat. So in India they use a lot goat meat because it has less cholesterol than so. And you can find those actually. So I lived in New York City. They found easily in New Jersey. New Jersey is the garden state. All the vegetables, and also the Amish people uses a lot the goat meat. So we get that. So in Lancaster, see, I also lived in DC, in Maryland, before retiring here, and I used to go to the Lancaster, which is Amish country, and there you can find the goat meat, goat cheese, and different products. So they're available. So this is only one. Also, I can make this shrimp cutlet. This large shrimp, what you do, take the shell out, okay, and you wrap that up with a ginger, onion, and garlic. Think about ginger, onion, garlic, 3 important vegetables, nutrients. Make a paste of that and wrap that up with that, and put in an egg, beat an egg, and make a coating. And then sit for a while, 10-15 minutes. Then you do that second time, another repeat, another coating, same thing. And then wrap that up, and then use the cornmeal to make a crust or simple flour, and then fry it. A cutlet looks this size, and that only thing they have that little tail of that, and you eat that cutlet. This is a fantastic dish. You cannot more than eat 3 or 4, even if you're hungry. It is such a tasty. But that takes a lot of time because it cannot be done for a group. So that's the reason. But at home, there's a different way you can make that. So any other questions?
You want to let them start?
Now,
It might be too temperature hot yet.
I think it's okay. It's cold.
This one.
Yeah, you can start, come back and here pick it up, your bowl, the rice, and please enjoy it.